Minutes, but the first one is Maureen Allman, and she's originally from French Park in County Roscommon, and you're living in Mulcullen now, yeah?
That's right, yeah.
How did you get in?
With great difficulty.
Oh, it's great to listen. Talk to me. You're full of energy today, but you are going through. You're on the cancer journey.
Well, yeah, that's what everybody keeps. To tell you the truth, I'm on the spin of a lifetime, Keith.
Are you?
I am. I was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer back in August 2013.
That's not very common for ladies now, is it?
No.
So Maureen Allman is unique yet again.
Well, my first meeting with my surgeon, I hated him with a passion. I really did.
You're not going to name him then?
Oh, we ended up loving each other. He became my best friend before I left the hospital. But no, my first meeting with the consultant, he walked in, surgeon, he walked in, he looked at me and he says, "You don't look sick." And I kind of went, well, I don't feel sick. And then he sat down and he looked at me and he says, "You're far too young to have this type of cancer." And I went, okay, how do you answer that? And then he picked up my scans and he was looking at them and he was going, "These are really good scans." But then he was looking at me, it was almost as much as to say, they couldn't possibly be yours.
Yeah.
But he did schedule me for surgery the following week. And that was the start. I had a pain in my side. It was as simple as that. And I had been to my doctor, wonderful GP. I cannot praise him enough. I had been to my GP and the third visit, he said, "Look, I'm just going to send you in for a scan to rule stuff out." And I went in, and little did I know that was the last day I was going to work.
Now, when the consultant that you eventually loved said pancreatic cancer, what was going through your head?
In all honesty, I had no idea what pancreatic cancer was.
Okay. That's a good thing, nearly.
Yeah, and my experience of cancer, my mum had breast cancer twice. My maternal grandfather died of lung cancer, and I had a maternal aunt who I would have been very close to, who had cancer of the esophagus. And they all survived. I never, ever for 1 minute saw cancer as being a death threat. I really didn't.
But do you now?
Oh, well, death is on the horizon.
For you?
Yeah, and that's okay. It really is okay.
You told me, as we were talking earlier on in the day, that you told me that they told you you'd be dead last January, 12 months. Last January, 12 months, I was told I'd probably had less than 12 months. Okay.
And then they changed my chemo. They had me on kind of the Rolls Royces of chemos for pancreatic cancer, but my tumours absolutely loved it. They grew like mushrooms while I was on it. And they changed me over to a different chemo. And bless the old tumours, they didn't like it. I had surgery, so the pancreatic, I had the tail of my pancreas and my spleen removed, but I now have tumours in my liver, but they're pancreatic tumours in my liver. Okay. And can I just say that this might sound really, really strange, but I have so much respect for my cancer. And over the last 2.5 years, I can genuinely say that I've kind of come to a point where I almost love it. It's part of my life. It's not my whole life. But it has given me a life that is so, so rich.
You have to explain this to me, because you said this to me earlier, and I asked you to explain it, and you did a very good job explaining it. How can you love something that's going to take your life?
It's funny, in December when we were told that the stereotactic treatment hadn't worked, and we were leaving the Beacon Hospital, and my son-in-law, I think it really was the first time that my son-in-law kind of bought into the whole reality of the situation. But we were driving back to Selbridge, to where my daughter lives, and at one stage in the journey, Sinead turned around to me and she says, "You know, ma'am," She says, to hell with everything else. We'll have a New Year's Eve party. And we have managed to put so many memories in the last 2 years, she says, and that's what we're going to keep doing.
Yeah.
She says, and that's, I have been really, really busy living my life. You know, okay, I have a terminal illness, but I'm not dying, I'm living while I'm alive.
No, and you said that too, because I said earlier on, and then the people in the audience might have heard it here in Mount Algarve, they were checking, did you want a glass of water? I said, give her a glass of wine or a pint of Guinness. And she says, no, don't give me wine, you'll only chop up what I had last night. So you are living life.
Oh, absolutely.
But if you're embracing your cancer and all that, but are you afraid of closing your eyes for the last time?
No.
No.
No, I really am. And I do see it as an adventure. From the time that I was first diagnosed, I never ever prayed for a cure or anything like that.
So you're just living with this and you're going to take...
I've always looked for acceptance, and you were asking me about death, how I see death very much as an adventure. And I see it as a transition, and it's the best way I can explain how I see it is if you consider the baby in the womb. I'm sure that when it's about to be delivered, it doesn't want to come out of that environment that it's in. Yeah. And I think that could be something like the transition that we're going to have from life into whatever is the far side.
I've never met anybody like you in my life. I haven't. I mean, I've met people that are fighting cancer.
Oh no, I don't fight.
Tell them exactly forget language and all, put language and all into it. You said fighting cancer is bullshit.
Yeah, absolute. But as far as I'm concerned, it's a load of bullshit. I don't fight. I have never fought. From the minute I was diagnosed, I said, that's not for me. All of my energy is conserved for living my life and doing the stuff that I like to do and spending time with my friends and going on a cruise and treating myself to little treats. I never married, but after my surgery, I treated myself to an engagement ring.
Good on you.
And I made the commitment to myself. I treated myself to something else a little later on, but we'll be quiet about that now.
She treated herself to something very personal, so she did. That has an engine and 4 wheels.
But,
the lads and Bradleys will be very happy.
And every week, I try to give myself at least one treat. That's my commitment to myself. And that treat could be just going out to visit a friend, or it could be going out for lunch, or it could be going to the Tyvark, or it could be going to the town hall. It could be spending time with my grandson. I am fully intent, Sunday afternoon, my grandson, me and him, you're going to see us out in fucking Clayton, giving it welly.
The Clayton Hotel?
Yeah, because there's country music out there.
Johnny's out there, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll go out there and we'll give it welly.
What age is your grandson?
He's 3.
3.
Oh, and he's brilliant.
Punishment bringing it to the drink. Dancing. And I have to go back to the whole death thing.
Okay.
Would you not like to see him growing up?
It's funny. I have a faith, and I do have a faith. But one of the things that I know with certainty is that the energy in the earth doesn't change. You might think I'm going way off track here, but the energy in the earth doesn't change. So that means that when my body stops, the energy that's contained within it will be released. Mm. And I think that once I'm not contained by the body, I'll have way more fun.
God help us then. You told me, and I can't see the time, but you told me you have your funeral planned.
Yeah.
Who's going to carry your coffin?
I've asked. There's 4.
Don't tell me.
Oh, no. But I've asked. There's 4 people that I have asked. There's 2 places up for grabs. I want to lot those.
You leave them to your daughter and son?
I leave them to the family to make up their mind. But yeah, the four people have been asked.
And you've picked how the funeral is to go? Yeah,
more or less. I've been putting off going down to the priest and going down through everything, but I know where I'm going to be laid out, and I know where I'm going to be buried, and I know who's going to carry the coffin. We haven't gotten into the music. We're thinking about...
I'm disappointed with you now.
We're thinking about picking out mortuary cards soon. Whether or not we'll have them for the funeral, or I think that I'm very privileged that I have been given a terminal diagnosis, because it has given me time. For me, with that privilege, there comes a responsibility. And the responsibility is that I have to try and make it as easy as I can for everybody I'm leaving behind. Because this disease is way, way more difficult on everybody around me than it ever was on me.
Yeah, everybody says that.
And I know in my in my late teens and 20s, and when you're going through all that emotional stuff, and you don't have money, and your career isn't sorted, and your children are small, and when you're struggling, that was a nightmare. That cancer is easy peasy in comparison to that, because cancer is not my fault. I don't have the control. I don't have the tools to fight it. I know nothing about medicine, so I hand that over. The consultant who did the stereotactic treatment, I said to him that I didn't fight. He says, "You are," and I said, "No." He says, "Oh, Maureen," he said, "you are. You've just delegated it." And it's their responsibility. It's not mine. I'll do what I'm told, within reason. As long as they don't tell me I have to give up drink, I'm grand.
Now hear this. Anyhow, sorry. My father was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. It was then he started drinking at 84 years of age. He used to take a small nip of brandy to settle the tummy at night time.
Right.
But he never drank up to that, like.
Right.
So what is it about pancreatic cancer, people taking up the drink? You're really strong, and you make it easier for me to ask you the hard questions. But I'm sure there's people out there that listen to the radio saying, "Holy Mother of God, how can she be so positive?"
I don't see myself as being positive.
You're just being Maureen.
I'm very pragmatic in how I approach my disease, and it's for me there really isn't a grey area. It's either black or white, and the chemo that I'm on at the moment, my body is struggling with it, and a point is going to come where I will have to be taken off the chemo, either because I choose to go off it, or because my body just isn't able for it anymore. Now, I have a wonderful oncologist. I don't know whether he's been interviewed as part of the radiothon or not, but Greg Leonard is my oncologist.
I know of Greg, I don't know personally.
And everybody who has been involved in my medical care, from the people pushing the trolleys in the hospital right through to all of my medical staff, they really have gone above and beyond, and I really feel that I couldn't have gotten better treatment no matter where in the world I would have gone. At the moment, we're looking to see if there's a trial that I might qualify for. It's not that I'm not holding out any hope, but I'm not clinging to it as a real possibility.
All right, Maureen, listen, you're an inspiration. I really and truly thought I'd met every sort and type of person in the world, but you're one of the finest people I've met. You're very honest. You really are very honest.
Thank you.
You're carrying it very well.
Thank you.
And I love the hairdo.
I know, it's great, isn't it?
Ladies and gentlemen, Maureen Allman joining us here, and what a strong story she tells. And I don't know what the rest of the people in the room think here, but I have to say, it's a great story, and you're a great person. So listen, enjoy the Clayton. Did you get a pair of tickets for the Clayton on
Not
Sunday?
yet.
We'll get on to Valerie and see can we get a pair of tickets for you. And the understanding that you will not bring the 3-year-old grandson with you. We'll get you tickets we'll get you Supermax vouchers for that. Do not bring him country dancing, for God's sake. You'll do indelible damage to the poor child.
Just before
last
I go.
Word you have.
Last word. Galway Hospice, and Cancer Care West. I've used the services in both, and they are exceptional. And I really do feel that whatever can be raised should be raised. I was out accosting people. When I went for lunch, I was accosting people on the street, showing them where the buckets were. So if there's anybody listening that doesn't have a bucket, you can accost people and just point where the buckets are. It's a great, great cause, and they provide it. They're brilliant.
All right. Well, you can text together. I'll tell you what. Pass me over that there, guys, if you don't mind. We're going to make a presenter out of her. So now you read that.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll be checking the second text here in case you get it wrong. So what do they do to donate then, Maureen Ullman? You
can text the word together to 53995. You can telephone 1850 88 5597. You can go online to www.galwayradiothon.ie, or you can call into any local SuperValu store throughout the city or county. And we're here in the Targark, and it's great fun. Honestly, there's a lovely old buzz here, and you can come and sit down and watch the presenters do their thing, and it's good old fun. I've had a marvellous, marvellous day today. Thank you.
Good stuff. Listen, I worry for my job now, Sergeant. Listen, thank you so much. Yes. A well-deserved round of applause. Johnny, back to you, and then I'm going to speak with Mairead Brennan just after this and get the other side of the treatment, indeed, that Maureen is talking about.
Okay, Keith, thank you very much. Thank you, Maureen. It was a privilege, as Keith said.